What is going on, Knick family? It's your boy, UnclefOOlio, and I'm back with another episode of The Kontroversy, ladies and gentlemen. As always, these episodes are sponsored by Nothing But Knicks. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Also, hit that notification bell to be notified of any new content that we got for you. Pre-game coverage, post-game coverage, shoot-around videos, controversy videos, Queens Court videos, Knicks and bruises. We got it all here on Nothing But Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we see it coming. Obviously, the topic of this episode of The Kontroversy, we're going to be talking about why did the Knicks stay put at the trade deadline? Why did the Leon Rose and the front office decide to stay put and, just kind of roll with what we have moving forward for the rest of the season and beyond, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to here to discuss that with me is going to be my boy Rob The Knick, the OG, the knowledgeable Knick, Rob The Knick, and we're going to break this down and debate and discuss this issue. Before we bring Rob The Knick in, I just want to highlight and shout out a couple of things that I acquired recently over the past week or week and a half or so. And it's going to be some books that I've been trying to get into. First and foremost, The Last Enforcer by Charles Oakley. I know a lot of people are not really feeling Oak right now, but Oak is still one of us. He's still a player that we love as a Knicks fan base. And I picked up his book, ladies and gentlemen. Some interesting stuff in here about how, what transpired through the 90s and with Patrick Ewing, the whole deal with James Dolan and getting kicked out the arena and everything like that. So make sure you go pick this book up, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lot of good stuff in here. Also, I have this book right here, Blood in the Garden, Flagrant History of the 1990s New York Knicks. Kind of similar stuff that he's talking about, the Knicks glory years, so to speak, back in the 90s, where we all love this team. This is a really good read, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go pick this up. Definitely some good stuff in here as well. Shout out to Chris Herring for this great read. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring in Rob The Knick. He is a longtime Knicks fan, transcended all the eras. He's an OG in this thing that we call Knick fandom, and I'm going to bring him in right now. Here you go. Rob, what's going on with you, my man? How you doing?
That shit, everything good, baby boy. Look, I got my good read too. Gotta have that. Lived
yes, sir.
through the era and represented the era.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, it is what it is.
It is what it is, my man. I know I've been trying to get you on here for a long time. I know before the trade deadline, me and Andy were going over some trades and stuff like that. But throughout that whole time, me and you've been talking about this and what the Knicks are going to do. So I'm glad to have you on, and we're going to discuss this in detail, why it was okay or why it wasn't okay for the Knicks to do what they did at the trade deadline and what the front office is doing. So without further ado, man, we're going to get right into it. We ain't going to waste no time. We're going to get right into it. We're going to come hit them hard, all right?
Let's get it cracking.
So before we talk about the front office and the trade deadline, just tell me real quick, how you feeling about the Knicks this season? Obviously we're not performing the way a lot of people thought we should be performing. There was some high expectations coming into this season, and the Knicks really haven't lived up to that. So just real quick, how do you feel about the Knicks this season and what's been going on around the team?
Well, I look at it like this here. Earlier, it was optimism earlier coming through. Everybody felt the same way after we lost to Orlando. And we all thought that we needed shooting. Every Knicks fan in the world thought that. But then we never took into accountability that the fans are back. How that would affect the team. And it affected the team. So therefore, we are a competitive basketball team, right, like we were last year. We got a lot more wins than we did last year. Maybe we beat some of the teams we wasn't supposed to beat, and we lost to some of the teams we wasn't supposed to lose to. That's the season.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's every basketball season that I've seen since 5. I'm right. 56 now. Ever since I seen it. So therefore, I put a little bit on, okay, they're going to do a little bit more better, a little bit more worse, but that's not going to take my emotions to a level that I got to go crazy with it.
And we've seen if the fans are like going crazy now based on the stuff that's been happening this season. Like everyone's like, like it's a big catastrophe. Like the Knicks are like just a mess all over the place, and I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think fans are overreacting a lot. I get it. We had our first winning season in a long time last season, and we expected us to do, better than what we did last season. But I think that was kind of naive because, again, like the Eastern Conference got better. All these teams in the East are stacking up. And I just don't think that we were championship contenders this season. And I think it was really naive for anybody to think that we were. Obviously, we didn't play up to a level where, anything close to that, right? Or anything like that's kind of like mediocre. But for me, I just think fans are kind of overreacting with the whole thing. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, if you look at it like this, if you could take the LeBron Lakers and you put them in the East, they're not even in the playoff game.
Right. Yeah.
That's how better the East got.
Right. Yeah. And I just think that people were just expecting us to do like a monumental step, like 4th seed, 3rd seed, like be like in the second round of the conference finals. And I just think that just wasn't really smart. So go ahead. Yeah.
I also think that, look, the moves that the Knicks made during the offseason with Fournier, I think that was needed.
Right.
But just because even if it doesn't like okay, we gave a shot at Kemba. We gave the same shot at Rose. Rose worked, Kemba didn't.
Right.
That doesn't make the front office in it. Now we don't know what we're doing. All of a sudden, one wrong move, we stupid. Everybody stupid. We on stupid. Well, look,
right.
we look. No, okay. Let's see how we correct it. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
So, Kemba is out there on one leg. Okay. Rose was out there on one leg, but Rose made the other leg work. Kemba didn't. So we can throw that away. Knicks fans, chill. I got 3 Knicks fans. It's 3 Knicks fans. And I put them in age categories. 1 to 30, you on your favorite player. And you're repping your city. That's 1 to 30. That's how you become a Knicks fan. And then, or somebody incorporates you to that 1 to 30. Then now you like them and you out the country. 30 to 45, you on hardship. What happened and how we're going to get better. You seen bad management. You seen all of this. And this non-trust. We don't trust now. 30 to 45, we ain't trusting nothing until we see it.
Right.
45 going forward, you done seen it all. So it's different. But one thing, 45 going forward, which you didn't see, is a total rebuild. So Knicks fans don't know what a total rebuild looks like. They think it looks like Oklahoma. They think it looks like Memphis.
Right.
It doesn't look like that in New York. Because New York eats their young. We eat them. We will eat them. So you have to have somebody out there to take the bullets. Randall taking shots. Fournier taking shots. Kemba come home. You taking some too.
Right.
While we growing blood in the garden. It's blood in the garden. But we grow through blood.
Yeah.
New Yorkers, every walk of life in New York is blood in the garden. It's blood in your neighborhood. It's blood at work. It's blood everywhere. Our mentality is that. And we can't take that from ourselves. And we put that on our teams. But Leon Rose is saving us. He's saving us.
Okay, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about Leon Rose in the front office. That's the whole premise of this show. But I just want to get your take on the Knicks this season. But now trade deadline, right? On Thursday at 3:00 was the trade deadline. The Knicks didn't do anything. They stayed put, right? And that's the whole topic of this video. So quickly, just tell me, how do you feel about the Knicks trade deadline, what they did, and why it was either a good decision for them to stay put or why it was not a good decision for them to stay put, and then I'll go back with you on that.
Okay, I think that it was a good decision. If you wasn't getting what you wanted back in last year, we got Rose before the deadline. We made our move quick. We took it. We took Cam quick. So anything else, if we're going to facilitate a trade and we're going to work with another team and make something else happen. But look, we are not, they said, the Knicks said, we're going to build this team on draft. We're going to build it on the draft. free agency, and development.
Right.
In all three stages, even though as Knicks fans we don't like it, they're doing it. The Knicks fans, we want it quicker. That's all it is. It's just quicker. It's
Right.
not like it's not happening. It's quicker. So as far as the deadline is concerned, we don't need anything. We're taking a page out, like I said earlier in the season, the San Antonio playbook. The Knicks are rocking like the San Antonio. You had Patty Mills there. You had Aldridge there. You had DeRozan there. But everybody that's on that team right now today is still on. All the young guys are still there. The veterans are gone. The young guys are playing.
Right.
But it took 2 years for it to happen. That's all I've been saying. Be patient. New York, we don't know what a rebuild looks like. It looks like this. You're going to suffer. You're going to be mad because you have a player. You don't have the team best interest at heart.
Right.
You don't. You have your player. Oh, G for life. He wanted to see Obi. Kev wanted to see McBride. Last year, he wanted to see Frank. Everybody has a player. But the team interest, nobody has the team interest involved. Except for, like, personally, me and you. We look at it from a team aspect. We're not killing everybody. You know,
so,
we got to.
Yeah, I just was gonna say I'm with you. Like me personally, I'm comfortable with what the Knicks did at the deadline. I'm totally comfortable with that. And yes, I did say that the Knicks have tradable contracts. They still do. That's why Leon Rose was on the phone, and a lot of teams were interested in what the Knicks had. The difference is that because the contracts expire at the end of next season, we would have to give up a pick in order for those guys to get traded. And I think that's just that's not the right way to go about it. Why would you give up a pick? Like everybody, most of the Knicks fan base wanted the Knicks to make a move to get rid of the veterans so that the young kids can play. Why would I give up a first round pick just so I can have my kids play? That doesn't make sense. If you want your kids to play and you want them to play extended minutes, and they are playing, by the way. I don't know why people act like they're not playing. If you want them to play extended minutes, all the front office got to do is be like, Tibbs, this is the direction we want to go in. Do it that way. Why would I give up a first-round pick just to make room on the roster? That just does not make sense, and that goes against what the front office has been talking about when they first got here, when Leon Rose first got here. We're going to continue to build through the draft, right? Build a team that, are going to be full of young players. The Knicks have a lot of young talent on their roster, right? Just because we don't see them play extended minutes doesn't mean that they're not playing and they're not developing, right? Obi Toppin, to me, has developed from year 1 to year 2. Quentin Grimes, we're seeing his development before our eyes, right in front of us. RJ Barrett has definitely developed from year 1 to year 3, right? So, again, I just think that this whole thing, we just need to be patient with this process. And just because the Knicks didn't make any moves on deadline day does not mean they can't make moves in the offseason, that they can't trade those expiring contracts next season and make all of that happen. I just think that fans were, just anxious for the Knicks to do something, and that goes against what the Knicks were trying to do. What do you think, Rob?
I think you're 100% right. The Knicks fans, like, as far as like the point, look, in this league right now, in 2000, in the new millennium basketball, you need an outstanding guard. You don't just need a guard.
Right.
Halliburton, like I said, they played last night, and I watched them. I got in, and it was the same thing that I thought he was. Yo, he's great off the pick and roll, great, but can you get to the cup? He didn't get to the cup one time. It's a 3 or a pass out. In East Coast basketball, he had 12 points in the first quarter. He scored 4 points the rest of the game. But it's looking like the same thing. You need that attacking guard. Thibodeau is not going for less. That's why McBride is not playing. Yeah, he gets you 39 in the G League, and he's still not attacking the cup. Mid-range is nice. Look, 3-pointer, okay. But if you look, facilitating, okay. But if you're not going to attack the cup in a half-court game, how will you affect winning? Halliburton last night did not affect winning. He affect losing because they was up 21. And the Knicks fans love him, but they don't watch him. They don't watch him. This is winning basketball. If San Antonio, if the Kings made the decision to get rid of Halliburton, guess why they kept Fox? Fox attacked the cup. And you can't teach attacking the cup. You can teach a jump shot. You can get better at your jump shot. But if you're not going to the basket, that's going to be your career. Howard Isley. That's him.
I knew you were coming with the Howard Isley comparison for Halliburton. Everyone in the chat, just let me know what you think about that comparison. Rob the Knick compares Tyrese Halliburton to Howard Isley. Before we get to that, let me highlight some people in the chat. Chevion Productions, good conversation. Thank you very much. Shout out to Toonie Music. Thank you. Frank Sound, he says, big picture, Knicks are in a good position. Salary structure, young players, picks, good. I think he meant to say vets.
Salute, Frank. Salute.
Yeah, salute to you, Frank. I think he meant to say vets here. D. Rose, Taj, Burks. I agree with you. I think the Knicks are in a good position. The fans are just losing their mind. Toonie Sound says they traded Cam without a plan to clear room for him. That's checkers, not chess. I disagree with that. I think there is a plan for Cam Reddish somewhere down the line in this rotation. We don't have to rush to play Cam Reddish right now. Cam Reddish has a qualifying. Right. He has a qualifying offer for next season, which the Knicks are most likely going to pick up because they traded a first-round pick for him. So we still have next year with Cam Reddish. I don't understand the infatuation and the rush to play Cam Reddish right now at this point, right? And give him extended minutes right now. What are we doing that for when we got him next season? To me, that just doesn't make a lot of sense. All About Knicks says, salute Knicks Nation. Thank you very much. Salute to you. Agent Super Argo says trades would have been useless when Tibbs wasn't utilizing the assets on the bench in the G League. That's what the office was thinking. So again, I just think that the kids' time will come. I think they are getting a lot of time right now. Like if you look around the NBA, and I was arguing with someone on Twitter yesterday about the Knicks rotation and their minutes distribution. For a team around that same age range, the Knicks are about league average when it comes to the age of their roster. The Knicks aren't doing anything different than what the other teams that are around their same age range are doing. They're really not. Like if you look at the Knicks rotation, if you want to include Grimes and Taj in there, but everyone healthy, the average age of the Knicks rotation is 26 years old. That's not playing a bunch of veterans. And like people think that, the Knicks got all these veterans. Like Taj Gibson's the oldest player on the roster. Then you got Derrick Rose. Outside of that, you got guys that's 30 years old and younger. Fournier, Randall's 27 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like people act like the Knicks have all these dinosaurs on the court.
They got 9 players, 23 or younger.
Yes. Exactly.
9.
And 5 to 6 of them are in the rotation right now.
Playing.
5 or 6 of them are in the rotation, are important parts of the rotation right now. So to me, I just don't, I don't understand this logic about playing the kids like as if the Knicks are not playing their kids. They're playing. Just because they're not getting the minutes that you think they should get or they're not getting extended minutes doesn't mean the kids are not playing, 1, and 2, not developing. Shout out to New Yorker. He says, front office is smarter than us fans. We have sets for summer and next year we're building right with short deals. I'm totally with you. That's right. Frank Sound says nothing wrong with you playing in the G League, and they are. McBride is playing in the G League. Jericho Sims is playing in the G League, and they're killing them, right?
That's right. And
Toonie Music says, go ahead, Rob.
And they coming back up, and the vets are giving them their props. Oh, yo, you done crushed down there.
Right.
They know what's going on, but the picture, when they hired Tom Thibodeau, I think the conversation went like this here. Look, I'm going to give you a competitive team, Tom, and you do what you do with them. I will not interrupt that. But I'm putting young players on this team, and if you want this job, this is what you need to, you have to acquiesce to this. And if you don't, you're going to get fired. So with that coming in, it's like, yeah, Tom got something to say. He loves his vets and everything. But when the vets are not there, that means as though that's why these kids do need 2 years. I think they need 2 years.
Yep.
They thirsty. They like the pit bulls. They hit the cage. They bumping their heads on the cage. Let me come out. Then when they get out there, they running back in the cage. We can't do the rebuild like Oklahoma. We got to do it New York style. Right. Once we let them out, they biting for real. They biting for real. Ain't no playing the jaws gonna lock down. They're gonna drag you back in their cage. That's how we rocking in New York. But the fans are thirsty. They want their player out there. They want the McBrides out there. They want the Grimes out there. They want the Quickleys out there. And then, like, my take on Quickly is this here. Yeah, Quickly is suffering this year because they're trying to learn them something like RJ that you're not used to. RJ playing the 3. Quickly, now we're going to try to make you a point. They don't see these growing pains on other teams because they're not watching them. They like them in their 4th year. They talking about the San Antonio Dante. Let's get him. Bron. But look, they first year, they wasn't even on their radar. So let's grow our own. Let's be patient. Let's be patient. Grow our own if that's what we're going to do. And then if they trade bait at the end, we're trading the good player for a great player because we're raising them.
I'm with you, Rob. I'm with you. And shout out to Bo Ishmael. He said the bad contracts are Noel and Kemba. How does Kemba Walker have a bad contract? How does Nerlens Noel have a bad contract? Those are 2-year contracts at $10 million or less that can easily be moved next season, easily, because they're expiring. How are those contracts bad? That's not an overpaid contract at all for Nerlens Noel, for Kemba. Now, to me, I was against Evan Fournier's contract only because of that extra year. But if you look at Fournier's track record, he's worth $18 million. Easily worth $18 million. And just because it didn't work out in the beginning of the season does not mean it was a failure by the front office to bring Evan Fournier in here. Now, me personally, I wanted them to make a bigger splash. And shout out to Tune Music. He said that I wanted them to make a trade last year. That's true. Absolutely true. But guess what? They didn't make a trade. They said that they weren't going to build through the draft, and which they did. They got Grimes late first round, and when he was projected to go higher. They got McBride in the 2nd round, and he was projected to be a first-round pick. Right, so the Knicks have been drafting well. You cannot say that the Knicks have not been drafting well, and the Knicks decided to stay put last year, and they're staying put this year, and I see exactly what they're trying to do. Now, I don't think Fournier was a bad contract. Shout out to Nell 7182. He said Fournier was a bad contract. To me, the amount of money that he got per season was not bad, but to me, the extra year was bad because I felt like, they kind of went away from what they were doing as far as
it's a team option.
Well, no. It's one more year beyond next guaranteed, and then
but
it's
look,
a team.
You look that 3-year deal after next year. Then you got 2. Any type of team that's fighting for the playoffs will take Fournier's contract next year.
I'm with you.
Then they would have took it this year. They took Dinwiddie's.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
If you're gonna add something to it, we're being patient. We're not jumping out the window. Okay. And then after the trade deadline, they beat Golden State. That shut up every platform the next day. This team is capable of being effective and can not contend, but be competitive every day that they play.
Tune Music asked the question, so why they couldn't move off these so-called good contracts without adding a pick? It's because they expired. But hold on. Let me answer his question. It's because they are expiring next season and beyond. Right? If those contracts were expiring this year, the Knicks would be the team to receive the pick. Right? So again, that's the reason why. Just because the Knicks did not make any trades this time does not mean those contracts were not good. Those are really, really good contracts, and they're all team friendly. The thing is, because they expire next season, that's the reason why we would have to give up a pick, and it just doesn't make any sense. Why would we give up a pick just to open up some spots in the rotation? I don't understand that logic at all.
Hey, look, check this out. If you would have gave up Randall, Burt, and Quickly, you could have got Halliburton. But is that worth it when you can individually trade those players and come back with 2 first-rounders?
Right.
You could have do all that. You could have done it. Indiana did that. And guess what they did? They lost. They went up with that same roster. They played. Buddy played good. Halliburton played good. Tristan Thompson played good. But guess what happened? They still lost because no vets. You ain't have nothing out there that was veteran. And you lost. So now you're looking like Oklahoma. You're looking like Kansas City. But look, KC, when they got Day trades, they won. They won. They slowed down the game. They look totally different. I can't see nobody giving up a two-time All-Star from a player that didn't hit a ceiling yet. You traded your whole team, okay, but you could have got something better. So now, where he's gonna be, so now what, Brogdon on the floor now? I don't think that Brogdon, to me personally, he's a good guard, but he doesn't represent where the NBA is going. Halliburton does. Halliburton does. He represents where the NBA is going. You slow down half court. You're a championship point guard. Okay, but you will have to put a faster point guard to back him up. You can't have two of those the same. You can't have that.
Because none of them attack the cup. Toonie Music says, why give up picks for a player not to play? Who says that Cam Reddish won't play?
Won't play.
That's the thing. Everyone is looking at what the Knicks are doing right now and acting like that. It's either play him now or you're not going to play him at all. The Knicks can play Cam Reddish next season and make a decision on what they're going to do with him at the end of next season. Like, everyone is so caught up what the Knicks are doing right now. They don't understand the long game in this whole thing. Like, Cam Reddish is going to be here next season. They will pick up his qualifying offer. And then you have the entirety of next season to make a decision on him. So again, I just think that, people are just losing their minds about what the Knicks did do. And to me, it just, it doesn't make any sense. Let me get this super chat in here. Let me see if I can find a super chat. Where did it go? Wow. So yeah, that's just how I feel about it. I think me and you on the same page, Rob. Now listen, I think Halliburton, I would like to have Halliburton on this team. No question. I get it. I get what you're saying about him not being able to attack the cup, but defensively, he can play defense. He can shoot from the outside. A lot of people were questioning that. For me, I just, I personally feel that we could have used them, but to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I think the Indiana was chopping Sabonis. They were willing to part with Sabonis, and they got a really good young player back. They were trying to get off that contract, so I have no problem with what Indiana did. The question is, were the Knicks shopping Randall? And I don't think the Knicks were shopping Randall in order to make that trade happen.
No, you don't. You don't do that. You stay packed. You stay packed. You let them look. You take that. You let the vets take the hits. The vets gotta take the hits. Randall, you take the hits. Hey, look. Oh, look, all y'all take the hits and let these young guys, this is the rebuild. This is the rebuild right there happening before your eyes. Blow it up. What does blow it up mean?
Yeah, what do we have to blow it up? Yeah, exactly.
But you ain't blowing up nothing. You just letting them, you just getting rid of players. The Knicks, for the first time in history. Hey, look, my dad told me, when the Knicks was playing when I was little, I walked into the TV, like head first, like walked up 2 years old, hit the TV, head first, like boom. And he said after I hit my head, I sat down. He didn't even have to call me for the games. I came and sat down at the game. He didn't even had me in his lap. I wanted my own seat. He tried to put me in his lap. I was like, nah, this is what my mom said. I fought her. And then I go over there with my own seat, and I sit up there with my toy in my hand, watching the Knicks, watching Clyde now. And when they won the championship, my dad told me, he said, you knew they won. He said, you knew they won.
Right.
In 69, I was 4 years old. He said, you knew they won. He said, you threw your hands in the air, you was pumping your little fist. You looked at me and ran right past me and hugged my mama. He said, hey, she ain't never watched the game. He said, but you walked right past me and you hugged your mother. So I've seen every aspect except this, a total rebuild. And I feel it and I see it and I speak on it. All platforms I get on, I'm talking the same thing.
Hold on, Rob. We're gonna get to that. I just want to shout out Kenneth Hatcher for his super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Smash that like button. We got over 200 people watching. Smash that like button if you're feeling the content. We got some other stuff that we're gonna talk about. Let me just highlight a few more of these comments. Troy Fletch says, we ain't rebuilding. We still playing all the vets. Still hoping some free agents will save us. We need to draft high in the lottery and get blue chip prospects. So to me, listen, we are rebuilding, and we don't have, our veterans are what, 27, 28 years old. Is that what you consider veterans? Is that what you consider veterans? And then we got 5 players that are 23 and younger playing in the rotation. So we're not playing our kids.
You got 9.
Yeah, I'm talking about the ones that are in the rotation. We got 5 players that are currently actively in the rotation right now.
And you got 4 waiting.
And you got, I guess, like, to me, I just don't understand this whole thing about the Knicks play the vets too much, Tibbs play the vets too much because the kids are playing. I just don't understand this logic. You know what I'm saying? And let me get one more comment in here. John Infante says dysfunction as usual. I don't think it's dysfunction at all. If I'm as old, if not older, and the Knicks are rebuilding, but the young vets are not the future. Again, they're not the future. That's why all their contracts end next season. Exactly. They're not the future. All those contracts end next season. So I just think that this whole thing with what everyone is talking about, I just truly don't understand. But Rob, I know you were talking about some of the other Knick content creators, and I know me and you were talking about this before, but this is your time right now. Tell me how you feel about some of the other Knick content creators out there. Shout out to all the other platforms. Here on my show, I tend to give a lot of credit to what y'all do. Blue Orange Tears, all those other shows that are out there, still Knick fans, Knicks and Bruises. But Rob, tell me, I know you've been hearing some things that you really don't agree with, so just tell me how you feel and call out whoever you need to call out. This is your time to do so.
This is what I feel. I feel as though, okay, I gotta reiterate this here. 1 to 30, you in one box.
Yeah, he talking about the ages, by the way, everybody. 1 to 30. If you're 30 years old or younger, that's what he's talking about.
I feel as though if you 1 to 30, that means as though if you said that you was Knicks coming out the womb, you 1 to 30. And I feel as though at that age, you just got your player. I feel as though you got your player. And if you in that city, you represent your city. From 30 to 45, I think that you watch the team, but you into basketball and you think that, maybe a coach or something like that. And you think that, okay, you evaluating players on movement. 45 to infinity, you done seen it all. You done really just seen it all. So now, the 1 to 30s, to me, this is your plight. It's quick. Everything is quick. It has to happen right now. You only
the microwave era.
The microwave. Look. What the fry? What they call that? The fry. What's the new pot? You got a new pot now.
Oh, you got the air fryer. The air fryer.
The air fryer. You got that's even quicker. So now you attach yourself to your player, and if your player is not being represented the way that you want to, you have a problem. You have a problem.
Who you talking about? Who you talking about, Rob? Let me hear who you talking about.
I'm talking about like people like State. State has a problem. State is that 1 to 30. That's my man. I love State to death. That's my man. Hang out, buy him dinner, and gonna still tell him you got a problem. Because you got a player.
Shout out to State, by the way. Shout out to State of the New York Knicks podcast. State, you my guy.
Yo, that's look, one love. When I go back up to New York, I'll look for him. I'll walk the blocks looking for State. And I'll find him. Without him even looking for me, I'll find him anyway, because I know how to find him. And then you got the 30 to 45. Now you got people like Color Block, GMO. They're going to be telling you how the hips move. If your hips not moving this way, that way, that's going to make you a bad player. No. I think different. I say, okay, if you're around the league, you know how players move. Once you see them, move. So you can switch that way, and experience. That's all. It's not all about X's and O's. Charles Barkley always said, you can take the X's and O's, give me the pros and Joes. Right? And Guillermo is X's and O's. They're gonna be the ones talking about the Spanish switch and
Spanish pick and roll.
Pick and roll. Yeah. Man, look, Okay, that's a play that's being ran. If you see the Spanish pick and roll 100,000 times, you're gonna know where to be in the Spanish pick and roll. And then, oh, your legs too small. This, that, and the third. Sherm M. He's another one. He loves his
I go Sherm M right here. He says,
Yeah.
Bo Ishmael I want us to get better backup four. I don't like OB or IQ game. I will trade them in a second.
Yeah. And he always said that. At least he stayed true to form because he likes his players. He like Randall. He thinks he's the one stuck in the 90s. Sherman M is stuck in the 90s. He will not give like new school basketball a chance. All his players are stuck in the 90s. He like to grind out the hard defense, the foul when you can get punched in the mouth. He like all that.
He like this. He like this, right?
Yo, I'm surprised he didn't get the book yet. Sherman M, you got the book. And then you also have like, okay, I'm gonna hit Sims too. Sims is like this here. He's a coach, great coach. I think he's a good coach. But see, Sims will give when he sees something going the other way. Because he was hard on Robinson.
Mitch,
then he started to give. In the beginning, he was talking about the hips like GMO, talking about the hips. But then after 2 years down, he started to see that, look, this guy can really change the game. So I'm not gonna get on big bro. I'm a look. No, to me, little bro, because he's younger than me. I ain't gonna get on little bro. I'm gonna let little bro rock because I love him to death. Because he's the one that turned me on to all of this. He was the first one that came up on the names when I looked up on Knicks. It was him. So
right. Shout out to Sim. Shout out to the Podfather, Sim.
Hey, look at here, bro. Love you to death. Love you to death all day long. But then you have people that just like misery. You got misery Knick fans.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Success is not what they want. They're a Knicks fan just because of their life, and they want misery. They want misery. If the Knicks doing good, you don't even hear from them.
Yeah,
they like the misery Knicks, so they have something to complain about, so they don't have to smack their wife, and that's good. Put it with the Knicks, so you don't have to smack your wife. I love that. You bring it over here, and those names I'm not gonna call out. But look, check this out. At the end of the day, we are all in the same platform, different things. Leon Rose to me and Tibbs, I got more problems with Tibbs than anything else.
Why is that?
I think that Tibbs, me personally, I think that what he did, like, and it just reevaluated what I thought. You 290s, you gonna get Van Gundy. He gonna get Stan Van Gundy. But guess what old dude gonna do for him? Guess what Leon Rose gonna do for him? He gonna bring him up there to the front office. He gonna bring him up there and say, look.
And I would not be surprised by that at all, honestly. Because I think they all friends. You know what I'm saying? I think they like it was well known that Thibodeau was a favorite for the job when Leon Rose first got hired. Everyone knew that he was considering that. And Tibbs has a history of being in the front office, right? So I think that from that standpoint, you definitely might see Thibodeau graduate to some sort of position. I personally think that Scott Perry deserves that, run his own front office. He's been in the league for a long time, and I think if the right offer comes along for Scott Perry, I think Scott Perry's gone. I think Scott Perry's going to be, and not getting fired, I'm saying he's going to leave the general manager spot. No, I'm with you. No, I'm talking about he going to leave. I'm talking about Scott Perry. He going to see he get an opportunity to run his own front office and be a president of basketball operations or a vice president of basketball operations somewhere else. I think he might leave.
I think he can do that here. Man, look, he made some of the best. He find the talent.
Yeah.
Even though, look, it may be like, look, Trey was a talent. Trill was a talent. Robinson is a talent. He finds talent.
In the second round, yeah. In the second round at that, yeah.
Hey, look at here, man. Look. To me, he's one of the best front office people that we had. Perry is one of the best. He finds talent, whether it works or not, and what he needs to do with it, man. Because if Trill didn't have a head problem, Trill still be a New York Knick. He would still be a Knick. So, therefore, going forward, I want him. I like our front office. I don't got no problems. Because guess what? I can make a chess move, right? And I don't have to come back to make another one for 2 days. I don't have to make another one for 2 days. They got you Cam. And guess what Knicks Universe said about Cam? Oh, a monkey could have done that. They should have got him on draft day. You know how high his stock was on draft day? After he did that, and after he went through the conference finals, he was playing great. Look, that Charlotte pick wasn't even us. It was always, we had our eye on Grimes anyway.
Right.
Kira Lewis still ain't playing.
Yeah.
In Charlotte. We used that. Okay. Oh, y'all want him? We went after him anyway. You thought we was, but we wasn't. So therefore, boom. Oh, y'all gonna give us a number one to get him first? And we still got our guy that we wanted? That's smart. And then you take that same pick, and then you go get you a number 10 pick. So basically, you got 3 picks in the draft. You got Cam Reddish. You got RJ in that same draft. You got the 3 and the 10, but the front office stupid. We stupid.
Rob, let me just highlight this comment real quick from Troy Flett. He says, so glad we're going to draft late in the late teams and we are capped out. The Knicks are incompetent. How have they not realized? Hold on. How have they not realized by now that top free agents are not coming here and the draft is the only way? You just said it yourself that the Knicks have been drafting in the late teams. They've been drafting well, in my opinion. Right? And if they have not been drafting well, why is everyone so in a hurry to play the kids right now?
Hey, look, and check this out. If they have to redo the draft with the Knicks drafted in the 20s on lottery picks now.
Yeah. They were saying that about Quickly last season, that if the Knicks if they would have redid the draft, Quickly would have been a top 15 pick.
He was Obi's pick.
Yeah.
He was Obi's, and Obi's was his. But now they're gonna have to redo that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like this here, man. Look, the Knicks are doing great things. Fan base, you need to recognize and see. Everything doesn't go overnight. Rome wasn't built in a night.
Right.
Rome was the first civilization that came down to say, anybody to come to Rome, you're Roman. Blacks, whites, Italians, anything. That's what built their army.
Right.
So now we're doing the same. We're not moving fast. Y'all looking at this team. Look at them young boys. I would tell anybody 1 to 30, stay with your age group. Look at those players. That's your age group. Don't look at them when Thanksgiving you had to sit at the small table because you was young. You had to. Hey, look, stay on your table. Get in mixed with Grimes. Get in mixed with McBride. Watch them. Because that's your team. That's your team right there. Leon Rose is gonna let that team go. He's gonna let that team grow.
Troy Flett says you're really getting a superstar talent in the late teens or 20s. Kawhi Leonard, Nikola Jokic is an MVP candidate. Right? Teams, and that's why we applaud some of these other front offices for the gems that they found in the late rounds. The Spurs, for years, they've been drafting in the late rounds and finding really good talent there. Right? And again, I can understand what you're saying about rarely getting superstar talent in the late teens and 20s, but how many top 10 picks have we seen not pan out? How many
Hey, look.
top 10 lottery players that we have not seen pan out? So all I'm trying to say is there's multiple ways to build the team. There's multiple ways to draft. Like everything doesn't have to be, getting in the lottery every single year. Minnesota's been in the lottery for years. They still haven't done anything. Cleveland is just now starting to do something now, right? But that's still a question up in the air, right? Memphis has been bad for years, right? But now they started trying
on that team.
Exactly. That's the other part
They
of it.
got vets.
That's the other part of it. So, but Rob, let me go on to the next question, and this is going to be how we're going to close this out. So, what do you think the Knicks should be doing? What do you think we should be doing next? Like, obviously the trade deadline is over. We still got the offseason. There's going to be some unrestricted free agents available. The Knicks are pretty much capped out at the salary cap, but we can still go out and spend a little bit of money. Hold on. We can still spend a little bit of money, go into the luxury tax a little bit, which I'm pretty sure James Dolan does not mind having to do that, right? But what do you think is next moving forward for the Knicks in the offseason and beyond?
I say like this here. It's all about them 9. It's all about the 9, them young 9. What the Knicks decide to do going forward is like, you come here, look, our draft pick is the most important. That Dallas pick, what we going to do with that? We're not looking for any established player in the league unless you're going to help us. We don't need you because we're not championship level yet.
Right.
So all of these trades and this, that, and the third, no, it's all about groundwork. We're doing groundwork. Like when a house is built, all the mud is on the bottom. Once that shit stand up beautiful, it's a different look. But you got the groundwork, and Leon Rose is not bending. That's what I love. He's not bending on anything. So this summer, it's going to be this summer. Everybody 2 years ago when we didn't have money, guess what they were saying? Oh, it ain't going to be nothing in the 2022 free agency. But yet, Knicks fans want us to get out there and do something. But we already said 2 years ago we weren't going to be nothing out there. So what were we looking for? Brunson? Okay, he all right. He all right. But that's not my superstar guard that I want. We got every position locked down. We got the center locked down. We got the small forward locked down. We got the shooting locked down. Only one position that we don't have. And it's the hardest position to get. But Knicks fans want to put anybody in that position. No, we can't do that. We got to be great, not good. We need a great point guard. If it comes, look, I would tell the chat, watch March Madness, and then you tell me about a guard that you think is great. Because it got to come down to that one position. Mitch is going to be great at his position. Everybody got a lot of upside in RJ. I think Obi's going to be great. That's just my own personal opinion. And then you got the shooting guard. Fournier, until Grimes get ready, yeah, you there. The point guard is the situation, but we can't rush it. We couldn't get Halliburton. I would have liked him. We couldn't get him. It would probably cost you RJ. How would the Knicks fans be like taking that pick? Okay. They love RJ. So therefore, the Knicks was in the fight for it. Okay, but now we stand pat. We gonna find us a point guard. Look, John Morant. Take this, Foolio. Take this. Chat, take this. He played at Madison Square Garden the other night. Like, 2-3 weeks ago, right?
Yep.
After the game, we was all in awe of him. Don't you know that boy shot 7 for 27? And we was loving him. Now, imagine if you see that every day. He do that every day. Gilchrist, when we played them in Oklahoma, he shot the same thing, 9 for 29. But we want him. That's like you in an abusive relationship getting smacked around. Come here. Come on. Get some more. Daddy, I love you. Look, we not seeing the growth of these players, but we want these players. Let's concentrate on the growth of our own players. And then if they don't work out, they don't work out. But at least we looked at them. We didn't send them away. If Cam gonna be there, let Cam be there. I don't have a favorite player. I like players. I like RJ. I like Obi. You know what I'm saying? I like Mitch. But for a better player, you can go. Look, New York Knicks Nation, quit getting caught up on players because then you disrespecting the team. And you wear Knickerbocker all day. You wear Knickerbocker all day. And if you won the 30, you might not know what Knickerbocker is.
That's so funny you say that. That's so funny because my father tells me that all the time about they were the who were they before the New York Knicks? They were the New York Knickerbockers.
They still the New York Knickerbockers.
Hey,
they never changed it. They just like, look, they cut it short. Look, Sherm, I love you. Everybody in the chat, I love you. But look, change your perspective on what you think this team is right now. Look at what you got. Don't look at the floor. Because when you look at a tree, the tree is growing beautiful. The tree is beautiful. But it's roots under the tree that you don't like. And they ugly. They going everywhere.
Hey, Spanish Harlem, he says he absolutely would like SGA or Ja. Like what? I don't think Rob is saying that, not to go out and not to try to get a player like that. But I think a lot of times what we do as Knicks fans is that we tend to sensationalize other players on other teams and what other situations are instead of looking at the good of what we have here in the organization. Like Memphis, I think Memphis is a good team, right? A good young team. They're playing well. But we think that Memphis is going to be like this great team over the next few years. And I think that they still have to prove that they can be that, right? Obviously, they're in a better spot right now. But our cap situation is better than their cap situation. Our pick situation, as far as what we got, as far as assets, is better than theirs. And we tend to look at these other teams and say, I want to be like that. I want to be like them, instead of looking at the goodness of what we have just because the team isn't performing well on the floor at that current time. And I think that's what Rob was trying to say. I don't think he was trying to diss SGA or Ja. I think that he was saying that,
It's all about when they came to MSG. We threw that out the window. We didn't look about what they did. We look at the shots that they made. But when you look at the stat sheet, it is what it was. 9 for 27, 7 for 28. And that was like, but we still love that player. But we're not going to allow our player to grow. If they want to make Quickly a point guard, okay, you can try it. But as an organization, you have to know when to give it up. But you don't have to give it up right now. You can say that Quickly can be that. Look at Maxey.
Yeah.
Play it. Let's see what happens. We have to grow from within. That's why I tell my kids, I'll be like, yo, everything. When you go outside this house, you representing the house. If I have to come get you from the police, I got a problem. And my kids don't give me that problem because they learn that in-house.
Hey, Spanish Harlem, Memphis has not been better than the Knicks for years. Right? Memphis hasn't. Like Oklahoma City, back when they had, Westbrook and Durant, who they all drafted, by the way. Like you could say that back then, but Oklahoma City is not a model of consistency and winning. They're not that. Neither is Memphis. I'm just saying they look at these players for what they are, you know what I'm saying? And they say that, I want the Knicks to be like this team. I want the Knicks to be like that team, when we don't necessarily look at what we have. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying the Knicks are perfect. We're not perfect at all. We haven't won a championship in almost 50 years. Rob was, alive back then when we won. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we're perfect, but I just think too often, because of what the Knicks are doing right now on the floor, it's like, we tend to we don't see the big picture. That's all I'm saying. There needs to be a balance with it, right? There needs to be a balance.
Yo, Spanish, look, I will say this. This is why I would tell you. Look, stay right. How old is it? Spanish, how old are you? Because he probably in that 1 to 30. He probably in that 1 to 30. Bruh, look, no disrespect. How old are you?
I guess so. He'll put it in the chat.
All right. Look, I'm telling you, man, look, it's different levels to this. You got to take how you grew up. You got to take also while you were still watching the team and how you feel about the team. And then when you see your favorite player come from college, because a lot of people are still watching college.
He said he's 34.
Okay, so he's right there at the look, bro. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Look, hey, you need to look, you can critique where you going with the Knicks and just look at the salary cap. Look how much money. Because look, the Knicks are the less money spenders right now.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Still in the fight. 119 million is our salary right now.
Yeah.
So we the less in the league doing the best. Last year we was 117. Yeah. And we was the 4th seed. Now, when you get an NBA championship team, you spending for that, bro. You spending for that.
Shout out to Alan Alford. He says either we're rebuilding or trying to win now. Knicks never pick one direction. We draft a bunch of young. Hold on, Rob. Hold on. He said we draft a bunch of younger talent and then hire a win now coach. See, I don't necessarily agree with that way of thinking, Alan. I mean, I understand what you're thinking, but I don't think that's what it is. I think the front office already told you when they first were hired that what they were trying to do. They were trying to build through the draft, continue to draft well, and when there's a chance.
And they told Tibbs that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he signed on. Hey, look, tell him to quit watching Sports Center and tune into this channel every day. And we'll give him something. Because that's what Sports Center say. It's no such thing. Look, I don't even believe in Tibbs players. Oh, this is a Tibbs player. You ain't won no championship. You don't have no players. You got 2 players in 30 years. He got 2 players in 30 years. He been coaching 30 years, right?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Oh, look, Kevin Garnett wasn't no Tibbs dude, right? Paul Pierce wasn't no Tibbs dude, right? That was already established. You got Jimmy Butler, Derrick Rose in 30 years. And now without a championship, they saying that he's on Tibbs players? Hell no. Hell no.
Shout out to Blackness. He says, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. He says, we need to treat Julius Randle like Iggy from Golden State when Steph had glass ankles. Keep investing in the kids and let Randle be our Iguodala. Don't build around him. I don't think the Knicks are building around Julius Randle. I think that's a heavy misconception about what the Knicks are doing. Just because we gave him that contract doesn't make him the centerpiece of the franchise. I think we gave him that contract, one, because he earned it, in my opinion. I think he earned that contract that he got, and it's a reasonable contract, right? And I think that later on down the road, it can be moved. Like, that contract is not an albatross, right? So I think that's the reason why we gave him that contract. It doesn't mean that we're building around Randle. I think Randle's just going to be a piece, a complementary piece at some point until we get some better talent in here that is better than him that we can build talent around. So, but thank you for the super chat, Blackness. I really appreciate it.
Hey, look, Black. I went back and I looked at Randle, right? Because I was doing my little investigation on him. You know, Randle played with ball. And how he been playing these last couple of games, that's how he played with ball. Fizdale came in there and said, look, we're going to give you the ball. And no, not Fizdale. Fizdale started it. Tibbs incorporated it. But before that, he wasn't that. He was doing what he'd been doing the last 2 days. Getting the ball, scoring off that. No, the ball ain't in your hands no more. It's not in your hands no more. So now he can adapt. If you don't adapt, look, New York will run you and your family out of there. They don't care.
Oh yeah.
Look, New York don't play. But if you can play the way you've been playing for the last 3 days, we got a spot for you. Now, you're going to have to battle. I think that in this year's NBA, in this current NBA, Obi going forward is different than Randall. Obi sees the floor better. Obi been a plus. Like, look, we played like 53 games. Obi been a plus for 45 every time he hit the floor. That's court awareness. Passing here, doing this there, moving out the way. Yeah, and look, Sherman M say that, oh, he just run up the sidelines. Nah, because you stuck in the 90s. You not looking at what else he do. Come up and said that. And then if the play get destructive, we come back and disrupt the play. Make sure that you get the ball. You know how we lost that game? It wasn't in Golden State. The game before when they were fumbling that, they gave them the ball all day long on that play. You know when the Lakers disrupted it at that end, and they got 2 steals. They allowed you to do that. They let you feel comfortable doing it. But when the game was on the line, they interrupt 2 steals. Is that Tibbs? Hell yeah.
And shout out to Rich Jim. He says he believes the front office will probably get rid of some vets, but Tibbs wanted to keep the vets into the offseason to see if by some miracle they can make the play. And I think both options was on the table. But I didn't want, hold on, Rob. I don't want the Knicks to rush that process because who are we trading for at this trade deadline to make us better this season? To me, I just don't think it made any sense. And then to attach a pick to it, I just don't think that made any sense. We can wait till the offseason to trade some of these older guys and get some either some picks in here or whatever. And then shout out to Elias Daly. He said, who would be my realistic point guard for next year? I'm a Brunson guy. I'm down to give Brunson some money to man the point guard position for the next 3 years, but unless we find that generational type guard that Rob was talking about. But for me, I like Brunson. To me, Brunson would be, for this current team right now in the next couple years, I think Brunson would be a perfect fit in my opinion. Go ahead, Rob.
Hey, look, I can't even front. I like Brunson too. I can't even front. Look, Villanova won championships.
Yeah.
Yo, his pedigree is that. Yo, but you got to be, okay, you get him. Okay, RJ got a bust. In order for me to feel comfortable, RJ got the bust. He got the like. And I think Obi gonna bust anyway, whether he's a New York Knick or whatever. Cause what they said about him, I think, and then look, like I told you before, behind the lines. Hey, chat, I'm getting ready to like expose somebody and told the Foolio behind the lines. Look, Obi, what he can do as far as passing and how quick he is to the ball, his basketball IQ is different than Randall. Randall, right now, you in trade bait, but look, Obi name never came up.
That's true.
Obi name never came up because they thought that Randall would resort back to who Randall was. And then you got the contract that you can push. You can push that contract. Any team, he third, fourth, anything, you're going to take that. But what the young dudes is doing in New York, only thing they're going to have to do is going to have to come with patience and guidance. The half-court game. You take Quickly, Grimes, not even Quickly, because Quickly is like, he the 6th coming off. But look, he has a role. He really does have a role. Now you trying to make him this. If he can't do it, it's okay for them trying. Fulio, I don't got no problem with them trying to make him into that. But if it don't work, he's a gunner anyway. He's still part of the
That's what I like about Quickly. That's what I like about. I like the fact that he is lightning in the bottle. When he get hot, he get hot. And that, to me, that can win you games. That can win you games, particularly if he get hot. Oh, yeah.
Imagine if they just let him be him. He gonna hit more shots. Look, I watched him down there in Kentucky. I watched him. Look, I'm ACC. I'm in like what they call like up there in New York. They call Connecticut, Jersey, New York. They call it
Tri-state
something.
area. Tri-state area.
Tri-state. I'm in the tri-state. And look, I go to all of them games. I know Zion busts ass down here right down the street. I can walk to where he was doing this thing at. He gonna be a big kid. Yeah. But imagine if he get right and he want to play with RJ and Cam. The trade piece is gonna be Obi. I just think ahead. If he get right, and he just look, he already got a shoe contract that's more than the money that he gonna make. Imagine if he get right and then Cam and all just say, come on over. Leave that money on the floor. You got it in New York. Randall got commercials in New York. And he booty.
Shout out to Sherwin them. And I think this is what Rob be talking about you, Sherwin them. He said, we can't do things a four should do. Defend, rebound, post up, create his own shot, shoot. Obi's just a dunking rim runner with no defense. And I think this is what Rob was talking about.
That's wrong.
Sherwin is kind of stuck in the 90s about what a four should be in the NBA. Look at Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is not a 90s type of guy. He can step out. He can shoot the three. You know what I'm saying? Like he can run. Like fours from the 90s are not doing that. Right. And I think Obi has that kind of potential. Now, I do agree. He needs to get better at creating his own shot. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's still time.
You ain't see him go to the hoop. You ain't see him go to the hoop like 3 times. Look, 3 different games. Look, guess what Obi did? He got Tibbs out of his mind. I know you connected to him. I'm not even talking to Randall no more. Him and Randall fighting. Because in Charlotte, we seen him in the timeout. Obi went over there, Randall, they dapping up. He ain't even talking to him no more. They fighting. Because he said, Obi said you were him. And then now what he doing? He going straight to the cup. Look, check him out tonight, 5 o'clock. Look, Obi going to put him in the game. Because you got to play him. Because look, guess what old coach told you? You remember, this is what they were saying before they got Cam. Who minutes was going to get crushed?
Yeah.
Everybody said Obi, right?
I said Obi too, yeah.
Guess what I said?
Who?
I said Cam ain't going to play. That's what I said. Because that's that. And then, look, next year is Cam. Cam, look, be mad all you want to. Have your attitude all you want to. You're going to play next year. You're going to get you a little bit of burn now. But you're going to play next year. You're only playing right now because RJ hurt. And then, look, if you wasn't there, RJ was going to play. RJ giving his homeboy some light. See, nah, I already got me. Look, go ahead. I'm going to take this down. Because the injury wasn't really that. When you seen it, did you see it?
Yeah, I seen it. He sprained his ankle a little. He could play, but there's no reason for him right now.
All right.
And by the way, I understand why everybody's mad. Thibodeau should have definitely had RJ out the game at that point. Like, there's no defending all that.
Hey, look, I say different. You know why I say different? Because the next game, LeBron and him was down by 30. He was still in the game. If LeBron,
I don't know, Rob. I don't know about that, bro.
I don't like it. Look, I don't like it. But LeBron was in the game. And he did lead score, lead rebound, he didn't assist. He was in the game. So therefore, it's all about like, yo. But look, this is what I don't like. I don't like Randall outside the huddle when they talking plays.
Oh, I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about that.
Hey, no. Scottie Pippen did that, right? And then Kukoc hit that shot. And that vanquished you.
No, but hold on. That's a little bit different because Scottie refused to go in the game. Randall didn't refuse to go in the game. He just was outside the huddle. That's different.
Look, okay, so therefore, if a winning shot is made, how you gonna look then?
What you mean?
If look, the Knicks hit the winning shot, you out to play. Whoever, they on your ass like a cheap suit. Really, right?
I mean, I just think it's different. I don't think Randall wants to play. He wants to go in the game. I just think it's different than him, being in the huddle. Like, I mean,
Hey, look,
I think fans
hey,
are
look.
kind of sensationalizing that way too much. Like, as Randall
Oh,
has, he
okay.
wears emotions on his sleeve. Like how we were feeling some type of way because Alfred Payton didn't have no emotion. He just had that one face, whether he was mad, whether he was happy. Now we got a guy that's here showing some emotion, right? You know what I'm saying? Showing that he actually cares and he's mad that he's not getting foul calls, and we feel some type of way about that. I just think it's a little bit different than than what the whole thing with Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen didn't want to go in the game. To me, that's selfish. Because he felt some type of way that he was trying to hurt his team because he didn't get his way. I don't think Randall's doing that. I think that's kind of too I don't like that comparison.
Okay, cool. So let me give you another one. I'll give you this one. If not Randall, you just had a baby. Now the chat, look, I want the chat to be part of this. You just had a baby. And then the day that you left, the dude dropped 29. And then you back the next day. What are you seeing in practice?
What you mean? I don't understand your question.
My question is this: you left. The day you left, he dropped 29. And you back with the team 2 days later and you just had a baby. What are you seeing in practice with this guy? Why are you back in 2 days? Everybody take their 10. You just had a baby. But this dude dropped 29. You back in 2 days.
I mean, he gets left for a couple of days to see the birth of his child. I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, but that's not usually how they do it. I understand what you're saying, but that's not usually how they do it. When you have your baby, you gone a week. Look at through the NBA. You gone a week. You taking a week. This dude
Burks was out for a week. I remember Burks was.
Yeah, but you coming off the bench. This is a starter. You think if Michael Jordan had a baby and he gonna come back in a day just because somebody dropped 29?
I don't know, man.
Hey, look, you know what? And then now look, that's all right. Okay, we talked about that, right? And then on COVID, supposed to be 5 days. He dropped 19 one day, and then he dropped 15 other day, and you back again with COVID. We thought you was gonna be going the week. McBride was going the week. Look, Grimes was going the week.
No, that's different.
2 games.
That's a little bit different. I think they changed. First of all, they changed the COVID rules like from 10 to 5 days or something like that.
No, not when he had it.
You talking about when Randall had it?
Yo, it came after.
So hold on, time out. We don't know whether he actually had it. First of all, you can be in contact with somebody and be out for the health and safety protocol. So we don't know, whether he had it or not. He probably not had it. He probably just when it was around somebody or whatever. To me, the whole COVID thing is
that's
crazy.
Bullshit. Look,
the whole COVID thing is crazy.
No. Let me tell you how that goes. If you're around somebody, that means you around the official, somebody around your game. You're around your game. Nah, he ain't do that. He took off he came back quick. So look, my point is this here. I'm having fun with you right now, but my point is this. If you seen this boy in practice and you know something I can't stay out 5 games and he's on the team. Randall is arguing more with ref because he's on the team. Randall, no. Look, I play ball. You know when your spot is threatened. Not to say they're gonna take your spot, but until that guy's off the team, you're feeling a certain type of way. Do the All-Star break? Okay. Randall doing him now. He ain't worrying about nothing. Hey, Randall don't want no parts of assisting unless he passing you the ball. But guess where he cut that? To the rim. To the rim.
I
And
got
that's
you,
what
Rob.
they've been. Hey, that's what they've been telling them all along. Cut to the rim. 30,
All right, Rob.
30.
I got you, man. I got you. Hey, all right. So we hit our hour mark. I really appreciate you coming on, man. Just say
Give me one more question. I know you got one more.
No, just let the people know how you feel and tell the people how they should be feeling right now with this current Knicks team and this current Knick regime, and so we can close it out.
Okay, look, my last thing is for the chat. I put my 3 formats: 1 to 30, 30 to 45, 45 to infinity. Which one you fit in? Hit me up and let me know where you fit in, and then I can, we can have conversation on it. Look, Sharon, ma'am, love you. Love all y'all. But look, check this out. Tell me where you fit in. Are you emotional with the Knicks? Are you a chess player with the Knicks? Or you just a Knick? But I can help you out on all 3 situations if you allow me to. Just hit me up and then we can talk. And I'm going to explain that this team is going to be the one that's going to get you 1 to 30, the championship. This chip. Let Leon Rose cook. Let him cook. We don't do nothing because it wasn't nothing be done. We growing our own product. Like when you go to the supermarket and you pick up those greens and those collards, and you do all that. You picking them up, right? Somebody grew them, but now you're going to grow your own. Be patient with your team. Your team is doing great things, but it's not going to be fast. It's not going to be fast. You're going to have your championship, I say, like competing for a championship, you're going to be 2024. You're going to win it in 2025. We're going to win the championship in 2025. But next year, you're gonna love your team. You're going to love your team. And all those vets going to be out there. You're going to be seeing your Grimes, your Quickleys, your McBrides, Mitch. You're going to see all that. RJ, Obi. And then we're going to have a good draft pick too again. Just get off the front office. I'm telling you. Look at the team for what it is right now. This is a competitive team, not a contended. We are not contended. We are just chilling.
Peace out. All right, Rob. I appreciate you for coming on, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for everybody tuning in out there. Please smash that like button. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let us know if you think me and Rob are just chatting, and you want to let us know how you feel. Please put it down there in the comment section.
Drop it in the comments.
Drop it in the comments. Yeah. We definitely. I definitely check out the comments too, and I definitely respond. So thank you so much for coming on with me, Rob.
I will answer.
Stay tuned for later on today on NBK. We got the pregame show. The Knicks are in Portland tonight at 5. So we should be coming on with a pregame show here shortly within the next couple hours. Thank you once again for tuning in. Please smash that like button on the way out. And I'll see you on the next episode of The Kontroversy, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.